spicy pancetta and tomato spaghetti, and I'm going to reveal the one ingredient I've been using for truly next level creamy pasta. Let's do it. First thing we're going to want to do for this recipe is pop a high-walled frying pan onto the hob and turn the heat to medium. Add a small splash of olive oil, and the first ingredient to go into the pan is our pancetta. So chuck in your pancetta, and we want to gently render out the fat. So stir through your pancetta, and that's going to take a few minutes to start to get crispy and release all of its beautiful fat. The next ingredient we need is some chili flakes. So go in with a really nice pinch of your chili flakes. Obviously adjust for your preference. I like it spicy. Give that a good stir through, and while the pancetta and chili is frying off, we want to prepare some garlic. So take a bulb of garlic, and we're going to want about 3 to 5 cloves. You can use more or less, this is entirely up to you. Start by smashing the cloves with the back of a knife, and then remove the skins from the garlic, and you want to spend a few minutes to dice up your garlic really nice and fine, and chuck some of your diced garlic into the pan with the pancetta and chili. Sweat down the garlic just until the point that it starts to get ever so slightly browned, and the next ingredient we're going to need is some tomato paste. Be quite generous with your tomato paste. We want this sauce really nice and rich. The spiciness and richness of the sauce goes beautifully well with the secret ingredient that I'm revealing at the end of the video. And after about 3 to 5 minutes, we're ready for our tinned tomatoes. So chuck in a few tins of tomatoes, give it a good stir, get that up to a nice simmer, add sea salt and black pepper, and the last ingredient for this lovely sauce is some fresh basil. This is a really rustic recipe, so just tear up your basil and chuck that straight into the sauce. Give it another good stir through, and you want to cook out the sauce for a good 20 to 40 minutes roughly. The most important thing is you reduce it down so it's really nice and thick and rich. And very quickly, if you can just give the video a thumbs up by hitting the like button below. So after a good 30 minutes or so, you should find that your sauce is getting really nice and thick. At this point, just cut it with a little bit of extra olive oil. We want the sauce to be nice and glossy. Give that another good stir, and the sauce is done. Just pop that to one side while we cook our spaghetti. Pop a saucepan onto the hob, fill your saucepan with boiling water, add a nice generous pinch of sea salt, and then chuck in your dried spaghetti. I like to use a small saucepan when I cook pasta, just so that you get a really nice concentration of starch, because we're going to be using that pasta water to finish our sauce. Make sure your pasta is nice and al dente, and then drain that off. Then chuck your spaghetti into a pan, go in with a nice few spoons of your sauce and a good splash of your pasta water. Give it a good stir through, give it a good toss, and then we're ready to plate our pasta and add the amazing creamy and delicious secret ingredient. So spoon your pasta onto a plate, and my secret weapon for pasta is to pop on a burrata. Pop your burrata on top of the pasta and then cut it open so all the beautiful gooey oozy cheese pours out all over your pasta. Give it a nice drizzle in some extra virgin olive oil, and lastly we just want to scatter over some fresh basil and a nice sprinkle of your chili flakes. So get in the kitchen, get cooking and enjoy.